All right, good evening, everybody. We're going to just like 2 more minutes. We'll let the last of our stragglers in, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Just a quick reminder, though, this meeting is being recorded. I have already started the recording, so just so you're aware of that. For anyone who wants to use closed captioning, because we're using Google, you can control that individually now. So there's a CC button in your bottom of your screen. And if you hit that, that'll turn the closed captioning on for you. So you can turn that on if you need the closed caption. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our virtual parent meeting. This is the first one of our monthly parent meetings. I think I mentioned before, we're going to do most of our parent meetings will be virtual this year again. And then we want to really focus on some of those student showcases. So, we plan on having 2 to 4 of the student showcases. Those will be live in our auditorium. And then we're also going to work on trying to get our live stream back up and running again. But as of right now, I am recording this meeting, and then we will post it tomorrow to our website too. So anybody who misses the meeting, we will post this tomorrow for anyone who missed it. Quick reminder, closed captioning. If you would like to use closed captioning, you can hit that on the bottom of your screen. You'll see the little square box with the CC in it. If you click on that, that'll turn the closed captioning on for you if you want to use that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're not going to talk too long as an admin team. We're really excited because our adjustment counselors are here tonight, and they're going to do a presentation for us as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We'll give you some quick school updates. I have Mr. Kissel helping me out here on the presentation piece of it. The first thing I want to do is give a huge thank you to everybody for a family fun run. It was the first time trying this. We weren't sure what to expect. We ended up with over 70 families and had a ton of fun. So I want to say thank you to all the staff and students who came out and the families. I also want to give a big thanks to our sponsors, Shaw's, Northbridge Police, Cafe 122, Benjamin Moore, the Plantinga family, Shining Rock Golf Course, Walmart, the Lundquist family, Hard Knocks Barbershop, and Home Team Realty. So thank you to everyone who sponsored it. We ended up, our first concern was hopefully we'll just break even, and we ended up making money, which is going to be great for us because that was the first fundraiser we did. So thank you for that. We had a lot of fun, and we're trying to plan other ones in the future. So I'll keep you posted on that. We do have some updates for you on our next slide. So school updates, just real quick. Arrivals, dismissals, transitions, and lunches have been going really well. The first day, we went through our growing pains. And after that, the kids have really done a great job. The staff has been awesome. Arrivals are smooth. The kids are in their class ready to go. So on behalf of Ms. Palmerhouse and Mr. Stein, thank you to all our parents, because our kids are in class ready to learn by 7:40. We pushed our time up. So that's been tremendous. When we're outside with traffic, there's no traffic by 7:35. There's really no traffic in our parking lot. So thank you to all the parents for doing that for us. Dismissals have been great. We dismiss our buses first. And I think we got it down to just over 5 minutes where we can get all the students out of our building onto the buses. And then, of course, after that, we dismiss our walkers and parent pickups. So that's been going really well. And then transitions. It is amazing to see how quickly the kids adjusted to the transitions, because we forget that last year, our kids worked in separate silos in the building. So they're not used to having to go all along the building. And I think the first couple of days, I talked to some students that were tired. It's a long walk around some of those classes, but I told them, well, you're young and you can handle it. So we give them about 3 minutes for those transitions, and the kids, the hallways are clear. It's really impressive to see how quickly the students picked up their schedule and how quick they get into classes. So that's been tremendous. Lunches, just a reminder, we do eat lunches not by house, but by grade level, and that's gone quite well. We make adjustments as we go to try to improve upon everything. Right now for our lunches, we used to have it where they entered in one way and then they exited out the other way. This year now we're going to let them enter and exit on both sides of the cafeteria to sort of make those transitions go a little quicker. And the kids do eat in the tables. Those of you who came and toured our school, they're sitting at tables, 6 to a table. We do have assigned seats though for contact tracing. So the students they chose a seat, and then we keep them in their assigned seats. And then anytime we change seats, of course, we're going to keep track of that in case we do have to do the contact tracing. So lunches have been really great as well. Wind block. So our wind block, we have the rest of this week, and then next week will be our writing focus. After that, we'll go into the rotation of our wind classes. So we have about a week and a half left of the writing piece for the wind block. I put on here vocabulary. Some parents asked about this, so I wanted to explain in case you don't know how our school day vocabulary works. So, for example, we have a day 1 through 4, and then on top of that we have periods. We have 4 periods, and each period has a block, and it's attached to a block. So, a day 1, it doesn't have to be a Monday. So it goes day 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it comes back again to day 1. The periods are fixed. So in case you're wondering, our periods are always fixed. So we know if we're going to ask at 9:42, for example, that's second period for us. It doesn't matter what block you're in. It doesn't matter if you're in an RA. We know at 9:42, that's what we call period 2. Okay. And then the blocks, those are what rotate. So the periods don't rotate. The blocks rotate through the periods. So for example, I put an example. Tomorrow's a day 3. We're going to start our content classes with C block. So first period, students in houses 2 and 3 are going to start with their C block class. And of course, students in house 1, they start with related arts. So they'll go to related arts, and then they go to their C block after related arts. So I just wanted to explain that to you real quick so you sort of have an idea of how that goes. If you don't know, if you're confused, ask your students. They pick this up within a couple of days. They're great with it. Our grading policy, we're making a few changes to our grading policy, just some minor adjustments to make it school-wide and to make it more easily understood for the families and for the students. It's nothing major, but I'll have that finalized by Friday, and then I'll get it out to you all on the parent email on Sunday, just to let you know about the grading policy and how that works. Again, the reason for the slight adjustment in the grading policy is, number one, we want to make sure we have a school-wide policy in regards to grades and the grading policy. We also want to make sure that we align this to, we're going now with the universal design lessons, and we want to make sure that it aligns with those universal design lessons. And the third thing is, it's going to make it much easier for students and parents to understand and follow. So, if you're in Mr. Stein's class, for example, it's going to be similar as if you were going into Mr. Kissel's class, even if they taught different subjects. So again, we're just trying to make that everything aligned and make it much easier for our students and families to follow. After school help will be starting up. Mr. Stein is going to start that up probably within the next 2 weeks, and he'll send out information in regards to after school help. Right now, the thought is, in addition to your teachers who stay after a half an hour every single, 1 day a week, Mr. Stein is looking at 1 to 3 days a week of after school help, about 1 hour every day for that. But again, we'll send out more information about that. I had some questions about our splash page. So we no longer use our splash page. That was created to help us when we were in that remote setting. So we do not use the splash page. In fact, they're not even on our website anymore. What we do use, though, is the Google Classrooms. And I did have someone ask me about agendas as well. So we order our agendas in the summer, and they were back ordered, and we've been calling them. Ms. Signoretti's probably been following up with them twice a week. They have since shipped, and so we're hoping to have them in the next couple of days, if not Monday or Tuesday of next week. So unfortunately, they're coming from California, so they shipped the end of last week. So we're really hoping to have them in here this week. But as soon as we get them, they'll go out to all the students. And what's nice is in that win block, we'll have that time now to make sure we go over those agendas. Students can put their schedules in the agenda, and we'll make sure that when we talk about executive functioning, they understand how to use the agendas for their success. This year, I just want to remind parents, there is no remote option this year. And I know that's going to come up because when we talk about COVID, so if your child happens to be a close contact or test positive for COVID and they have to be out, we will not be able to offer them the remote option. And it's not our policy. That actually came from the state. That was from the commissioner. So there is no remote option this year. However, we will make sure we get them their work. The work will be posted in Google Classrooms. Of course, they can still email and keep in contact with their teachers. We can send home hard copies of work if needed as well. But I don't want you to think that, God forbid, your child's out for extended time, we're just going to forget about them. No, they're going to have access to their work. It's just going to be through Google Classroom. Our curriculum night is going to be September 29th. So we're excited that we're going to be able to have a curriculum night so far this year. Again, everything has a caveat, but it looks like we're going to be able to do that September 29th. I'll send out more information about that. But just to give you a brief overview of what it'll be be similar to the way the high school runs it. Parents will come into the auditorium. They'll meet with myself, Ms. Palmerhouse, and Mr. Stein. We'll give a brief presentation, about 15 minutes or so. And then you'll follow your student schedule. So you'll be able to go to all your students' classes. You'll actually go through a brief rotation. It'll be about a 10-minute rotation. So you'll get to stop into each class. And of course, you'll get to visit your related arts teachers as well. But we'll send out more information for that as it comes. I just wanted to make sure everyone knows, put that on your calendar. We're expecting a big crowd here on September 29th. It's a Wednesday, and the time on that is going to be from 6 to 7:30. Thanksgiving baskets. I have a message from Nurse Sue. We've done this for many years in the past, but the Thanksgiving baskets for families in need. If you or anyone you know is a family in need, we will have those Thanksgiving baskets that we put together for Thanksgiving meals. If this is something that you're interested in, or if you know someone who could benefit from this, please reach out to Nurse Sue or any one of our 3 adjustment counselors, and they can get you situated with that. But we're excited to be able to provide those Thanksgiving meals for people in need. So again, reach out to Nurse Sue or any of your adjustment counselors for that. So we've had people ask, actually, our students, we started to talk about this with our students, having an October outdoor movie night. So if you don't know, this summer we were excited that we bought a 16-foot inflatable screen. So we have this giant inflatable screen that we want to use for movies. So we're looking right now around October 23rd. We're trying to work around the schedules of everybody, and also what's going to be with football games and things like that. But tentatively, we set our Saturday, October 23rd. And again, I'll give you much more information about this as we finalize it. But it's going to be outdoor movie night on our screen. Right now we're thinking about we could show it out in the grass by the softball fields. You can bring a chair or a blanket. We'll have food and refreshments as well. We haven't even worked out the details. This is all new as far as the cost and things like that. But it'll be a minimal cost, probably $5 at the most. And then, of course, we'll be able to sell refreshments and snacks and things like that. If you're interested in helping with that, please contact Miss Signoretti, or you can reach out to Miss Capistran. We'd love to have some help with that. So if you're interested in that, please reach out to either one of those two, or you can reach out to myself, Mr. Stein, or Miss Palmer House. Any one of us, we'd love to hear from you if you want to be part of that. And then finally, as we're getting ready to wrap down, I only have 2 more slides after this, but I want to give a huge welcome and a shout out. You're going to get to meet our new adjustment counselor later on in this presentation, and she's with us here tonight. So Miss Ashley Kelly Keegan is with us tonight. She's the new adjustment counselor, and she will be in House 1. So welcome, and thank you for joining us, Miss Kelly Keegan. Thank you. And then as soon as my presentation is done, I have just 2 more quick slides to go over. I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Kissel and his team, and they're going to go through the adjustment counselors. They're going to talk about some things with this social emotional piece, and then they're going to take you through some of the surveys we'll do and things like that. So I'm going to move on to my next slide. Student clubs and organizations. I know I've also had people ask about this. So yes, on our website, our student clubs and organizations, Ms. Gogolinski put a link on here for you. If you go right down to to our website, you can find that, and you can click on that link and sign up. You can pay on that link as well, $25 per club, and then we have a cap of $50. So hopefully your child's going to want to join 3 or 4 clubs. If that's the case, you won't have to pay more than $50. But it's $25 for 1 and then $50 for 2 or more. So I wanted to make sure we knew about that. I think right now on our website, we have our gaming club. I know Ms. Gogolinski has her broadcast club. I believe her Girls Who Code is up there. And I'm forgetting one more. Is the art club up there? I'm looking at, okay, Mr. Stein, Mr. Palmer House is giving me the yes. Is there another one I'm forgetting, you guys, or is that all of them? I think that was all of them, right? For now, anyways, we'll have more to follow. I see that we're hoping again. I know I've had a lot of people ask me about the dance and cheer club, so we're hoping to get that started. We're probably going to start that because I know right now a lot of the students are with the AYF or Pop Warner, so they're cheering for those leagues right now. So we're probably going to start that up in the winter time. That way we don't interfere with what's going on with the fall for them. So we're looking for a wintertime start with that. I've had some people ask me about drama because they hear me talk about that. So I met with Ms. Palmerhouse and Mr. Stein today in our admin meeting, and we talked about that. So yes, we plan on getting that started. If you're interested in being involved with that, please reach out to any of us again, because we'd love to have you as part of that. And then I think I have one more slide, Mr. Kissel. Student Council, this is from Ms. Wormuth and Ms. Jonkis. So Student Council is taking applications right now. The forms are available on the website, or they could pick them up from Ms. Jonkis. She's in room 241, or Ms. Wormuth in room 312. Applications are due on 9/22. And then they'll reach out and let the people know who made it on September 30th. So I wanted to make sure that you all knew about that. Important note on here, again, this is from Ms. Jonkis and Ms. Wormuth. Everybody must apply. So even though you are a past member, you still must reapply. So everybody has to apply, whether you are a past member or not. So I just want to make sure that you all knew about that process going on right now. And then one other thing that's not on here, I just want to mention before I turn this over, National Junior Honor Society, which I'm really excited to offer this year. We've been talking about this for since last year, beginning of last year. That's going to start. And so that's Miss Wormuth and Miss Tucker. More information to follow on that, but it looks like, we're going to wait till the second semester, probably January, after we come back from break, where we're going to induct our National Junior Honor Society, our very first ones at Northbridge Middle School. So we're happy to talk about that. So we'll keep you posted on that, but please remind your students that that is coming. And so we're excited to be able to offer that. That's all I have for tonight. I'm not going to take questions tonight only because I want to make sure Mr. Kissel and his team have plenty of time to talk to the parents. Of course, you can send any of us, Ms. Palmerhouse, Mr. Steiner, or myself, questions or concerns at any time. And we'll be happy to answer that for you. We're going to get you more information about our next parent meeting. But at this time, I am going to turn it over to Mr. Kissel and his team. And you guys all set. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you so much, Mr. Diorio, and good evening, everyone. I've come a long way in 40 minutes because Mr. D and Ms. Palmerhouse will know I started off this meeting by saying good morning. So we're already doing better. Thank you so much for being here tonight. It's really exciting for us to kind of talk about this year and how it's going to look. Things will be a little bit different. So to start, I'm just going to share my screen. Okay. This should. Can everyone see this? Someone want to let me know? Oh, I need to present.
Yeah, looks good, Mr. Kissel.
All right, everybody. Slide one. Okay.
Mr. Kissel, I think it's off right now. Whatever happened, it's not, you're not in present mode.
Thank you for letting me know. I would have kept talking. Right. All right. Are we good now?
Yeah, here it comes.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
All right. So welcome, everybody. This team is going to start us off tonight.
Good evening, everyone. So we're really excited for our house model this year. So I wanted to review with you the school adjustment counselors that are assigned to each house this year. So for house 1, we have Ms. Kelly Keegan. House 2, we have myself, Ms. Gambasini. And in house 3 is Mr. Kissel. Obviously, if you have any questions in regards to your students' concerns, the best way to contact us is via email, and listed there is our email addresses. We also just wanted to review tonight, the role of adjustment counselors at the middle school. So a school adjustment counselor is available to all students at Northbridge Middle School. And our role is to promote social and emotional well-being for students by assisting them to remove and reduce any barriers to learning, and also to teach them tools to build skills and learn strategies to reduce those barriers during the school day. So we're there to assist them to manage throughout the school day, and teach them skills to manage throughout the school day. Just going over what is social emotional well-being. So healthy social emotional behavioral well-being is defined as a student's ability to make connections, which is really important, making connections with others, having control over their emotions or anxiety versus the emotions and anxiety having control over them. And lastly, feeling ready to learn. So again, building those skills to help them manage throughout the day so they can access curriculum.
So a bit of data that we've been tracking over the years is in front of us. So part of the reason why we were allowed to have a third adjustment counselor this year after losing a full grade of students was due to the data that we have been tracking. So in the 2019-2020 school year, we did what's called screening a sample. So we chose a grade 7 homeroom at random and gave them what's called the GAD-7, which you will see in about 3 slides from now. In full transparency, we just want you guys to know exactly what will be given to your students. So it's a 7-question small survey, and that survey gives us an idea of where your student is or your child is exhibiting anxiety on a scale. So it's self-reported. It's based off of their own opinion. So they might say they have no anxiety. They might say they have a lot. Can depend on the day. But 2 years ago, in that random sample, we found that 27% of that group was at moderate to severe. So on the higher level of the screener tool. Last school year, we did that same grade, but because they had moved on to grade 8, but we screened every single student who was in person learning last year. So it was about 54% of the grade. And we saw that the percentage went up by 26%. So at this point, it was about a third of our students were in the moderate to severe anxiety, self-reporting again with our sample tool. But that information was certainly concerning to us. And when we paired that with the youth risk behavior survey that we administered towards the end of the year, we did 7 and 8 with 250 students. About 31% of the students reported that yes, during the past 12 months, they felt sad and hopeless that they stopped doing usual activities. That was a 7% increase from data that we had from 2018, 2019. So as you can see here, the percentages kind of align, and it was justification enough for us to move forward. Mr. Diorio was incredible to work with last year. We were able to take this data and use it to bring in Ms. Kelly Keegan. So why are we here today? We're here to talk about the new model. So a lot of what Ms. Gambasini and myself have done for the past 4 years that we were working together is a lot of what's called reactive delivery. It means that when a student is either in crisis or having trouble emotionally in school, they would be called down to us. And it seemed for a long time we were just what could be called putting out fires, or assisting kids when the need shows up. What we have always wanted to do is assist the need before it shows up. So our new model, instead of being called reactive, is now going to be proactive. So our goal this year is to find and assist as many students in need as possible. And what we're going to be doing is universally screening all students with our tool, the GAD-7, which you will see, I think, in 2 slides now, if I'm correct. So our goal is to hit every single student as possible, starting with grade 7 for this first part of the year. And once we screen the students, we will offer them an 8-week CBT anxiety group. So this will be with the parent guardian permission, of course, and it will also be based off of student desire to engage. If it doesn't seem like it's something that they want to do, we understand, and we're certainly not going to be here to force anyone to engage in something that they don't think is good for them. So starting tomorrow, we will be screening our grade 7. And then as you can see, we'll do all of grade 8 from January to March, and then we'll do all of grade 6 from April to May. And that's obviously the full school year, but moving to the next slide. Ms. Kelly Keegan. Ms. Kelly Keegan. Sorry guys, I can't see anything. I'm looking at my my screen.
Let me see if we lost.
Okay, that's fine. We'll just give it a moment, folks. And obviously this is in front of you so you can read it. But again, in the goal for us this year is to be fully transparent with you, not to try and trick you with our intentions. We really just want to assist every student that we can. And now that we have 3 adjustment counselors, we can finally do that. And it's very exciting. So I'll give it about 30 seconds. And if she isn't here or her mic's not working, which could be, I'll just read this slide in the next one. Sorry about that, guys. All right, in the interest of time, because you are all here, I'm just going to go over the slide. So CBT is what's called cognitive behavioral therapy. It's been around for a long time, and it's incredibly effective, specifically for anxiety, which is why when we're looking at what's the program that is going to assist the most students, we really want to take something that's data-driven and proven to be effective. So we're utilizing a 8-week cognitive behavioral therapy group to assist our students in building their tools to combat just the stressors of our world, you know, coming back from the pandemic, and with it ongoing, there is clearly a lot of worry that's come from that and a lot of concerns. So we're going to be utilizing CBT, but moving on. This is the screener. I hope everyone can see it. If not, I can certainly share it with folks. So as I said, it's 7 questions, and the student will look at this and answer not at all sure, several days, over half the days, nearly every day. So I'll read through the questions quickly, and then we'll move to the next slide. So first question is feeling nervous, anxious, or on edge. Second question, not being able to stop or control worrying. Third question, worrying too much about different things. Fourth question, trouble relaxing. 5, being so restless that it's hard to sit still. 6, becoming easily annoyed or irritable. And lastly, feeling afraid as if something awful might happen. So as the student will answer this, it's on a 0 to, I believe, 23. Well, what's 7? No, 21 scale. The higher means they are approaching moderate to severe. The lower means none present or mild. So again, we're really targeting assisting our students who are in the moderate to severe category. Next slide. So the first trimester of delivery, I just want everyone to know kind of our schedule. So this week we're starting with the universal screening of every 7th grade homeroom. I believe there are 8. So we will be screening tomorrow morning during homeroom, and each counselor will pick up the surveys from their houses. Next week, we will evaluate the data, identify the students who qualify, interview the students to gauge interest and see if they would like to be placed, and then finally talking with the parent to see if it's okay for them to take part in this 8-week intervention. So the week after that, 9/27, we're going to start our group 1, which is for grade 7, as I said. So that 8 weeks takes us to the week right before Thanksgiving, which is 11/15. That actually worked out quite well. There won't be a big disruption, week off type thing. So after that process, we'll come back from the break and evaluate our group data. You know, we'll have our GAD-7 data, and we'll have our post. So I think it will be really helpful for us to kind of look at trends, and overall, we'll be able to track. So we'll be taking this survey every 2 weeks. So we'll have a lot of data to suggest, like, you know, how things are going, if it's effective, where we need to relook. So that's exciting. Just to give you guys a break from my voice, I think Miss Kelly Keegan is having some trouble with her microphone.
That's fine. Tony, I can do the next few slides.
Perfect.
So again, we just wanted to review the justification letter that was sent out recently. So again, as Tony spoke earlier, you know, we really wanted to be proactive this year in meeting the needs of our students. So I'll just kind of skim through this letter for you, just review it. This school year, the students of Northbridge Middle School will be given surveys and questionnaires. And again, our goal is to identify students who may have gaps in their emotional stability and could be in the need of learning new coping strategies. So we want to identify the students in need now, you know, early, so we can work with them and be preventative prior to them needing, you know, further social emotional assistance. So via information gained from our surveys and screeners, we can administer brief school-based counseling intervention to assist students in building their skills, which, you know, will assist them in meeting the challenges of the school year. So that's what was sent out. So I wanted to share that with you. The next slide is the opt-out message that was also sent out to parents and guardians via email. Just again, reviewing, that we're sending out these surveys, questionnaires, and that the information gained will, support the school's ability to provide comprehensive and timely support for the students that require, if they require assistance. So again, students can opt out by, filling out any questionnaire, survey, screener. And again, if you're interested in opting out your child, you can reach out to any of the counselors via email or give us a call as well.
Thank you, Timothy. I will also be posting a Google form in chat for anyone who wants to use that as well. Since we're all on computers right now, it's probably just easiest for you to do that if you do not want your student to take part in any counseling or screening process this school year. So something that we created last year, and we're just trying to hype it up again, while we have you guys here, is our counseling website. We're really trying to use this as a way to get strategies, cool websites, fun things that are helpful in boosting, our social emotional health. There's stuff on here for parents. There's stuff on here for students. We even have a page for our own staff in the building. So it's just a great resource if you're looking for things that can kind of help promote well-being. And then lastly, because we're just passing 7 p.m. I want to give some time for questions, but I'm only going to put on about a 10-minute timer just in the interest of time. So I'm going to stop sharing and we will answer some questions. I'm going to start my timer now.
We able to see someone posted, Mr. Kissel, how do the group sessions work?
Mm-hmm.
Super good question. So we need about an hour to an hour 15 minutes to run our sessions. So we will be utilizing related arts. So students will miss one related art period for approximately an hour to an hour 15 per week for 8 weeks. They are actually groups. Our target size is between 10 and 12. Happy to help. I'm gonna copy and paste this for folks who want it. Again, what I just posted in chat is the opt-out form. It's a Google form, so you can just fill it out on your phone or computer. Did I miss any questions? Yes, they will happen during the school day. They get taken out of related arts. Yep, already answered. Okay, any other questions? Okay. Well, if anything does come up, if you think of anything after this, please send us all an email. Oh, absolutely, Kelly. Students get graded in related arts by completing their content. So they will miss the content of that one class. Students can opt out themselves, yes.
And I think if I can follow up with Ms. Hayden's question, they won't be penalized for missing related arts, Kelly. So if they, miss any time in related arts, the related arts teachers have worked with our adjustment counselors in the past, so they won't be penalized for missing any work. They'll make sure that either A, get caught up on that work, or B, they just get excused for that day's work. That's a good question.
Thank you, Mr. Diorio. That's a much better answer than mine. All right, awesome. That's all I got, Mr. D.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kissel, and also to Ms. Kelly Keegan and Ms. Gambasini. We have a few more minutes left. I didn't want to encroach on Mr. Kissel's time, but he's done a little bit early, so I can open it back up. Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Palmerhouse, Mr. Stein, or myself? We could try to answer those for you. This was a short meeting tonight. And then I recorded this meeting. We'll post this to the website, hopefully by tomorrow. And then that's really it for that. I'll send out more information on Sunday with my weekly emails. But it looks like it's all quiet out there. All right. I told Mr. Kissel that, we have a really great parent group, and that it's always respectful, but you do ask some great questions. So thank you, everybody, for tonight. I don't want to keep you any longer. It was great to see most of you tonight. And then I look forward to seeing you soon. But other than that, have a great night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Night. Night.
Prosecutors and a grand jury looking into allegations of obstruction of justice and perjury. He knew they had that blue gap dress and his DNA, and there'd be no more denying the affair.
All right, that's a wrap for me.
Beautiful. Nice work, Gina.
Yes. All right, let's call.
Okay. Yeah.